at this point, you've got the base of your funky coil bowl built, and now it's time to add a dividing coil as a barrier in between layers, like an interrupting coil. Now, your coil base might look different than mine. I kind of have a flower shape look to mine, and it looks like a slab, but you might go with something that looks like those rainbow shaped coils that I just had in my hand a second ago. That might be the base you want to go with. So we talked about that in class recently, the different options for creating the bottom of your bowl. Just make sure whatever you decide to go with, however you decide to lay that out and design it, that it's taking up the base of the bowl. In future videos, I'll talk about creating the side wall of the bowl. But right now, let's just focus on making a pinky thick coil, a rather long coil. And again, that's going to act as an interrupting kind of dividing line in between layers, in between my base layer and what will be eventually my sidewall layer of interesting coils. Now I can go with something perfectly circular, and that would be great. I like the way that looks. I'm obviously going to have some holes, some gaps, as you can see. Remember, we don't want any part of the styrofoam bowl showing. So that's an option. Or I can manipulate the coil and make it wavy looking if I wanted to for a different look. And that might finish off that base nicely, and maybe nicer than a perfectly circular coil. It's totally up to you. Just make sure as soon as you're done with your base, you insert some kind of singular dividing coil as I'm doing right now. Could be perfectly circular, could be wavy, whatever you want to do. So I'm really manipulating the coil to kind of enhance these waves and bring out that kind of flower shape that my base ended up having. You can see I've got holes, I've got gaps still, and I don't want any of the white styrofoam bowl to show, so I plan on plugging those up. I'm just kind of now dealing with the two ends of the coil. I'm going to fuse those ends together so it looks like one continuous fluid coil, like a ring shape, but just a wavy ring shape. Remember, the base of your bowl now looks like a slab at this point, but it's not going to be a slab. We're not doing any slab work for this assignment whatsoever. Everything is coil built, which will end up having this decorative aspect to it as well when it comes to the exterior. So have a series of spheres handy, a little army handy that you can quickly press on to fill in those gaps and to plug up those holes and openings. Remember, we don't need to slip and score these. You can if you want to, but it's not necessary. Just press with some decent pressure and then begin to lightly score over those spheres and this dividing coil that you just added. We're merging everything together. You can even use the end of your plastic fork to do some wannabe smoothing. That works too.